Hey Kevin, what are you doing?
I've been making all these little videos on cutting and welding and working with metal and working with the machines and how to put stuff together. And I thought, hey, let's do an art video for once. Let's talk about making something pretty. So this is a bell that I've been playing with, and it started out as a straight bell, and then I just cut it at an angle and then turned all the different angles, chamfered all the edges, and then as I welded them back together, I started getting a little twist going in here. And I thought, well, okay, yeah, but that's kind of boring, because I've just got these straight weld lines. I'm just going to grind them smooth. Okay, I got this little twisty little bell. That's fun, but how about something different? Let's do something weird, something unusual. Well, I know I've played with welding copper to steel. Now, you get a galvanic response out of it when it gets wet.
What does that mean, a galvanic?
That means you get a lot of corrosion. The two dissimilar metals, the steel and the copper, when they get wet, they corrode very quickly right in that joint, and you get a big mess out of it. So there's a way around that. I'll talk about that later. But I thought, well, let me come back in and I'll just grind away some of that weld that I put in, and then I'll come back and lay some copper in it. Because then I can get my Sculpt Nouveau patinas in there, because some of those only work on copper. They'll rust metal, but they'll color copper. I thought, that might be cool. I'll get different colors, I'll get color in the rust, I'll get all kinds of weird little happenings going on there. Then when you're all done, and it's nice and dry, that's the big secret, nice and dry, low humidity, and then you seal it with their lacquers or with anything that you can put on there to help seal it, to keep the moisture from getting into these joints where the two dissimilar metals are. Now you got to remember, this is for decoration only. This is not structural. The holding properties between the steel and the copper are not very good. So you got to have a good steel to steel weld under them, and then you just put this in as an inlay, as a little decoration over the top. So put your helmet on, weld some copper in here. So just running got the Miller 200 running. Just gonna run a few little beads with the TIG welder through there so you can see what it looks like. You ready?
Let's go.
And this is where you learn why we use copper for our cooking utensils, because, boy, that little piece of wire started getting hot really quick because that heat travels through that copper so well. Let me get these last little two, and then we'll get the grinder and clean it up just a little bit. Tell me now. I'm sure you saw you can see there's a little soot there from the weld, and you probably noticed a little bit of green flash that I was getting off the weld. Now, if you're just welding steel, that's a sure indication that your tip is contaminated. But when you're just welding the copper, it's just the copper itself burning off. That's really the only difference. I mean, it welds exactly the same as steel. Use just about the same amperage, use the same gas mix, use the same torch, use the same electrode, use all the same motions and everything. It's just that you're welding two dissimilar metals together. Or You can even just weld copper to copper. You want to weld pipes together, you want to weld sculptures together, work great too. Let me get the grinder and I'll clean this up just a little bit. Hang on to your ears. You can kind of see what you're getting now. Is you got the nice shiny steel, you got the copper insert, copper inlay down inside there. You get that all ground in nice and smooth. You have just that little touch of copper. So you come in with the copper patinas and get one color. You can come in with the steel patinas and get a different color. You're all done with it. You can cover it with the waxes, help seal things in. Cover it with the varnishes or with the lacquers to help seal it all, keep all the moisture out of it. Sky's the limit anymore. You can do anything you want, guys. Go practice. I gotta go back to work. See you later.